tasty pastry. It's a low-carb Pop-Tart. It's got 3 to 4 grams of net carbs, and we love this show. This is our best place to be in LA.
Welcome back to Legendary Foods Muscle in the Morning. I'm Dave Palumbo, and today is Friday, October 14th, 2022. And let's find out what's going on in the world of bodybuilding and fitness. Normally, when we see someone grab an Olympia qualification this late in the year, they tend to take their foot off the gas a little bit so they can regroup as they head into the home stretch for their preparations. But the key emphasis here should be on how I said normally, because right now, Michael Daboul looks like he's going to be one of the rare exceptions to that rule. Earlier this week, news broke from Michael Daboul's camp that he's planning to compete at the next weekend's Dubai Pro, where he'll presumably go in as the pre-show favorite. And you know what? I think it's a great idea. Why not? According to the latest updates from the team, we should see a fuller and better version of Michael on stage next weekend, which is always dangerous given his tendency to be the most well-conditioned man in the building. So if he makes good on all his promises, this one might already be in the bag, because it's hard to imagine anyone being able to beat that type of look. If you're a Moh Fooda fan and you were looking forward to seeing your guy make his season debut soon, I've got some bad news for you, because it looks like your wait time just got a whole lot longer. A few days ago, word broke from Moh's camp that he was planning to cancel any and all plans to compete at this year's contest after suffering a series of setbacks, including a string of injuries that would have been hard to believe if we didn't hear this straight from the source. Listen to this one. According to Moh, since the start of his prep for the season, he's had 2 slipped discs, a pec tear, and a quad tear, which might actually be the bodybuilding version of the unholy triad. Because I'm not sure if you can have worse luck than that. At a certain point, if you decide that you're not going to listen to your body, it finds a way of somehow getting your attention, and unfortunately for Moh, his body decided to make this one, well, pretty cut and dry. But if there's one blessing in disguise here, it's probably the fact that he's still so young, which means that his best days should still be ahead of him. So if he can take this time to glue some of these broken pieces back together, hopefully it will only be a matter of time before we see him cash in on all of that young potential. If you're a Marc Hector fan, hopefully you can help us out with this one, because the million-dollar question as it relates to him right now seems to center around whether or not he's going to shut it down for the rest of the season, or will he keep competing in an attempt to secure a last-minute Olympia qualification? Over the course of the last month, we've seen him rip off 3 straight top 5 finishes, but as good as he was, you can probably make a solid argument for him still having room to improve. And given how close we are to the last few Olympia qualifiers of the season, maybe having that, well, carrot dangling out there will be enough motivation to make him want to see if he can peak just one more time before closing up shop for 2022. The guy's got a ton of talent, and he clearly made a lot of improvements during his last off-season, which means that his arrow is definitely trending up. So if he were to continue and possibly try to make another run at a show like the Prague Pro, maybe this persistence will pay off, because you can't get hits if you don't step into the batter's box. Sometimes I like to play this game with my kids where I challenge them to describe something in 2 words or less, because it forces them to be creative and turn their brains on. And also because most things can be described in 2 words, but you just need the right 2 words. And to be completely honest, if we played the 2-word game with Brett Wilkin's prep for the Romania Pro, and you asked me how I thought it was going, I wouldn't even have to pull out the thesaurus, because this one is a layup. His prep looks like it's going pretty good, and I don't think we need to make it any more complicated than that. He's definitely bigger than he was heading into the Arnold, and 6 weeks out, He looks like he might even be slightly ahead of the curve as far as his conditioning is concerned. And these are two pretty good places to be. Brett's got a lot of momentum working in his favor right now, which always helps at this juncture of the season. So if he can keep that rolling, I'd say he has a pretty good shot of landing in that first call out. And at that point, it's a toss-up, which is about the best you can hope for when you're dealing with a subjective sport like bodybuilding. But don't be surprised if he leaves with the win. And that does it for yet another edition of Muscle in the Morning. I'm Dave Palumbo, reminding you to always be true to your passions. And make sure to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.